In this video, I'm at the jet wash to see what this sill is going to look like once I actually clean the car. I painted it very badly in a previous video. It upset much of the internet, but let's see just how bad it actually is. Well, there we go. One beautifully clean Rover, but let's go in and have a look at this sill. And well, it seems a little bit light, but I think once we've got the chrome strip on, that'll be lost. But I would say that actually isn't all that bad. So I think I might have got away with this one. It certainly looks a lot better than it did. I just need to find the clips, but given I've just filled the sills with water, leaving the holes out open won't do any harm. But yeah, she looks quite good for a bit of a buff, I reckon. Good old Rita the Rover. I mean, the thing is, this car is never going to be immaculate. It's never going to be a show winner. There are two types of cars in my life, as you've probably noticed. There's the ones I want to keep nice and want to keep going forever, and that's the 2CV, the GSA, the Invacar to a certain extent, although I'll need to do some improvement works to that because that's a bit of a mess. And then there are cars that are a bit more end of life. Myrtle's trying to jump from one to the other. In theory, she's just extending the end of life, but I want to keep that car forever. The Daihatsu Charade is probably an extending life vehicle, and ultimately the Rover is. I just like driving older cars, and I don't think this car is ever going to be a show winner. It's never going to be great. The paint all over is scratched and chipped, because this car's done 156,000 miles, and most of them have been unkind, it would seem. So it's had an innings. It's never going to be a museum piece. And while, you know, it would be nice to save every car in the world, that's ultimately not going to be possible. So my aim is to keep this car going as long as is realistically possible. And the problem with this type of motoring is you're only ever one major fail away from a complete financial catastrophe. But we've got the sill done. Everything seems to be running all right. I think it's had the clutch hydraulics done at some point. They're always a pain in the backside. So hopefully, still a good few years left in this car. I don't think it's going to be in a scrapyard tomorrow, but at the same token, it's just not worth trying to make it really nice. Good enough is good enough. And I know it caused upset. I know I rushed the paint job. But again, that's kind of the reality of the situation. We don't all have ages and, you know, loads of tinkering time. With the Rover, I'm representing those people who are perhaps on a lower income. I consider myself, to be honest, although the number of cars is starting to suggest otherwise, but I still am running this car on a fairly tight budget. And when you're on a fairly tight budget, you can't just spend out for a professional paint job on a sill. That's just not how these things happen. And it's also true that everyone has pressures of life, and trying to find time to actually work on the car when you've got to have it up and running again. It's a pressure situation. I've been there. I've been tinkering on the driveway in a car I have to drive to work the next day. I know what that's like, and to be honest, that's kind of how I'm running this car. You're minimizing downtime. To paint that sill properly, even a DIY, you bear in mind each coat of paint was meant to be sort of a 20-minute dry time. It's probably even longer this time of year. You're talking a paint job that's easily going to take probably more than a day. You probably need to take several days over it, and for me at the moment that just isn't possible. I haven't got that sort of time available. Running the shop is proving an absolute time thief at the moment. Very busy. November is typically a very busy month, but you know, I've got the other pressures. I can't just make videos about the Rover 75. Some people like the 75, some people don't, so I try and have a broad mix of content at all times. But anyway, I'm waffling far too much. I need to get to the unit because there's a certain Daihatsu that needs to come out today. I've got plans for that. The Daihatsu, various potions I'm going to try in it to see if I can get away without having to rebuild the engine. I've got some stuff coming from Liqui Moly first of all. I've just done an oil change though, so I want to put some miles on it as it stands at the moment. Oh wow, those passouts are getting rare. And so yeah, I want to put some miles on the engine as it stands, so that's my baseline. I just want to make sure the oil change hasn't magically cured it, so we'll go out, put some hard miles on it. I think it's going to be a very short oil change because I've got fresh oil and additives and stuff coming, but yeah, we'll see what happens. But anyway, I need to get to the unit, so I'm going to say that's that. Just a quick little update on the Rover. It's had a wash. The paint doesn't look that bad. I think when the trim's on, it'll look absolutely fine by HUD nut standards. I don't think it's anywhere near as bad as people were expecting. Well, there we go. I've just gone round her with the Lucas spray mist wax, and she's come up absolutely lovely. I adore this colour. This is the major difference between this 75 and my previous white gold one. You may also notice I've actually had some new tyres fitted. A bit of an impulse thing, but the old ones were low. These are Black Lion Snowpion, or Snow Pioneer. Snow Pioneer. Oh, I see what I've done there. It's like Answer Smash on House of Games with the lovely Richard Osman. The ratings aren't superb, but already the front end grip is considerably better than it was. It was starting to handle like a pig, and I could feel it every time I went round a left hand, well, any bend. I could feel the front end not gripping 100%. So we'll put these through their paces, see how they go. But yeah, I'm very pleased with how she's behaving. I still must fit that wheel arch liner, but I'm not doing that today. Instead, I'm going to park the Rover up because I want to get the Daihatsu out to play. Well, there you go. That's just a quick update on the Rover. That's where we are with it. The sill really hasn't come out that badly at all. I mean, it helps that the paint generally on this car is terrible. There's a huge scratch there, there's a dent there, scratches down here. It is absolutely covered in dents, and it feels like it's trying to sleet. So I'll be able to test the beading properties of the Lucas spray mist, and already that's looking pretty good. I think I'm going to retire to the garage for now. Whoa. So yeah, thank you very much for your continued interest in this car and my hopeless painting skills. Look forward to seeing you in a future video. Farewell. It's Slick Mist, Lucas Slick Mist Fast and Easy Speed Wax that I'm using, not spray mist. I don't know where that keeps coming from, sorry, but there you go. I was sent that not by Lucas, someone else sent me that, so thank you very much. It's very, very good stuff.